Welcome back to Thrive America. I'm your host, Brent Brooks, and joined by J. Mark Walker, Mr. Alan Yurick, Prince Nair, joined by business coach, action coach, CEO and co-founder of Axiom Franchise Advisors, and I'm joined by PR expert, Mr. Mark Weisbrod, venture catalyst, Russell Fair, J. Cap, Chris Spears.
We're always looking for ways to build bridges of trust, build bridges of relationship.
Hi, welcome to Thrive America. I'm your host, Brent Brooks, and joined by very special guest, Todd Schnick, owner and operator of Intrepid. And Todd, you and I have gone back and forth on several different social circles, and we're part of a group called Growth Answers, where we work together to help our clients achieve more by all of our expertise involved. So thanks so much for being a guest on our show today.
Brent, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Todd, you've become sort of a social guru of late, and we definitely want to tap into your expertise on how you're leveraging the internet and how you're using that to build your business and to get your name out there. And to some of us who aren't quite as savvy as you are, I definitely want to learn from your expertise and figure out how I can leverage the internet and social networking sites to help me expand my business. What are some of the universal rules of networking according to you, sir?
Well, the thing to understand about social media is a lot of the clients, a lot of the people I interact with on a day-to-day basis, small business people, a big part of their marketing strategy is networking, face-to-face networking, going to that chamber mixer. And they come to me and they'll say, I just don't understand and appreciate the value or get the value of what social media is. I'll ask them, well, is networking an important part of your marketing? And oftentimes they'll say yes. And I say, well, what are you achieving? What are you doing? What's your strategy when you're doing face-to-face networking? Are you making new friends? Are you building relationships? Are you giving value, trying to be helpful to someone? Are you looking for joint venture opportunities? Are you looking for referral partners? And oftentimes those are exactly the reasons that you're networking. Mm-hmm. And so I'll then come back to them and say, well, if that is how you're applying your strategy with networking, it's the same thing with social media. The only difference is it's online and you can reach a much larger universe of people. But it's the same tactics that you're applying on face-to-face networking that you do to social media.
I think a little bit later I'm going to have you walk me through some of the technical aspects of some of these social media sites, because I know sometimes I stumble upon issues trying to figure out what the rules of engagement are for each of these different social media sites. You mentioned here building community, and how important is that to you, building a community? And what do you mean by this concept here?
Well, building community is for me the buzzword of what social media is all about. When you're marketing your business, you're building awareness. You're educating people about your ability to fulfill a need or to solve a problem, and demonstrating expertise, building a confidence that they'll feel comfortable purchasing from you. And so that's what your marketing is really all about. And so social media is just one device in your overall arsenal of marketing tools that allows you to do just that. And you can reach, again, a much broader audience. And there are, as you know, you mentioned all these tools, there's countless tools out there that you can use to do that. But it's about building community. It's about making an effort to grow a list of people who are aware of you, who are fans of what you do, who are your friends. People love to do business with their friends, and social media is a great device to do just that.
Just a quick little story. For the first time, I think I found some business through Facebook, where a high school alumni of mine got in touch with me through Facebook, contacted me, and hired our improv troupe to go and crash an event this morning. So that was a good victory for social media. But what do you say, to play devil's advocate for a second with you, Todd, to the person who's probably has said this to you before? Why do I want to go look at somebody's pictures of their vacation? You know, how is that going to benefit? How is that going to help my business if I'm constantly being bombarded with pictures and videos and little nuggets of information all day long?
It's a great question, and in fact, I just posted something on my blog about that very topic. A previous guest of you on the show, a gentleman named Mark Walker, has taught all of us that the first step in the sales process is developing and building a rapport with the prospect. And so what is building rapport? Well, it is establishing some connection, some bond with somebody so that you have a connection and you have something to talk about above the sales process, which is naturally a tense relationship. But if you can establish a connection, or you're Braves fans, or you both went to the same high school, or what have you, that makes that sales process move a lot quicker and a lot easier. Now, what social media allows you to do, I've had clients say, why do I want to see all these videos of their recent trip to Disney World? And I'll say to them, because that's important information, because when you can see them behave and act in a non-sales call environment on, say, Facebook, then you can see what their politics is, what their favorite movies are, who their friends are, what they're saying, what groups they're joining. And yes, you can see all their pictures from their recent trip to Disney World, and then you can sit down with them over that sales call and you can say, hey, I saw those wonderful pictures of the family. We went there a couple of years ago. It was a great time. You suddenly have a connection. You got a bond. You have something in common. That's what a rapport is finding some common connection that makes that relationship much easier with which to move forward in the sales process. So Facebook is that's if no other reason to use Facebook in the business application is you can get to know people on a different level, and you can find those little nuggets of information that can bond you and make that sales process go a lot more smoothly.
Yeah. Later on, we're going to talk in the next segment. We're going to talk about Twitter and talk about some skills that you have with that. You next kind of bring up giving value, and is that what you just talked about? A part of the principle of giving value, or what do you mean by that?
Well, giving value, what I mean by that is being helpful to someone. When you're engaged in networking, for instance, if you're going to a chamber mixer and you walk up to someone and you say, "Hi, I want you to buy my widget," you're not going to be very successful at networking. That's not what it's about. It's about making friends and establishing relationships, and then you don't want to jump right into a sales context when you meet someone for the first time at a networking function. Same thing, the same rules apply in social media. And it's about being helpful. And so you engage in conversation, you interact with people, you find out what's going on with their business and what struggles they're having, what problems they're having. And then from listening and observing, you can learn ways that you could be of service, whether it is providing service from your business that can be helpful, or referring them to someone who can, or referring them to some thought leadership, another blog or an article or a book that could be helpful. And so you say, hey, I've been listening to you, I understand you have a problem with X, Y, and Z. I have a great resource that might be helpful to you. Here's how you can get access to it. That's giving value. And what that person's doing is you're becoming something of value to them, and so you're building a relationship, you're growing your community. They now know that you're someone that is helpful, and so they're going to share that information with their network, and so that's how you slowly grow and build that community that we talked about.
And other guests besides you, Todd, have talked about building a community and being a resource. And being someone that, you might not do business with that person directly, but they may come to you and say, oh, Todd's someone that I can trust, and I'm going to, you can trust who he recommends. And therefore, same can be said later down the road when someone knows, hey, I want to hire someone like Todd, you're the first person to be called. And I've seen it happen over and over. So we're gonna pause here, Todd, and we're gonna bring it right back, and we're gonna dig deep into Twitter, which is a very popular social networking site that's kind of taken over. So we'll be right back with that.